In this video, I will showcase to how to create a circle using the given information provided from us in the first quarter. Also, I will try to find the radius, the circumference, and the area of the circle after continuing and finishing the circle. So in order to start the second quarter of the circle, we have to duplicate the first quarter of the circle onto the y-axis of the second quarter. So as we have to start from the point 10.5 on slot 8. We have to have 28 line segments tangent to the circle in order to complete a fully circle around the center of the circle. So to start off, we have to have the x coordinate of the first point to have to be 10, and for the y coordinate it has to be the same here as a 5. But on the second line segment, we have to have it duplicated to the y-axis from this. So in order from 3, we have to duplicate, or not duplicate, but convert it from the this y-axis to the second y-axis. So we have to write here, since it is 0, 3, 6, we have to make it on the y coordinate 6. On the x coordinate, it has to be the same length from this point to this point. These 2 points, the same length onto the y coordinate. So from here, it is 3 until 10, which means it has a 7. The distance between them is 7. So 10 plus 7 is 17. And so we created the first line segment on the second quarter. We should add a line, and we have to start off from the same as we did onto the second line. In the second line, we're supposed to take the second line segment that is tangent to the circle, which is 9.5. So 9.5 will be the same on the y coordinate, which is 5. But on the other hand, x will move by 1 from the original point of this one, just the same as the 9.5 coordinate. So it will become 11. In the second point of the line segment that is tangent to the circle, we have to increase it by 1. The same as we did with the red line segment and that is tangent from the circle. As you see, the tangent line circle is above the point from the original point in line segment. So in order to make it the same as and reflected from the first quarter to the second quarter, we have to do the same but on the opposite side. So this. Here will be on the 7, the same as it. So this is the line segment. Let's put a line. Oh. And so we have to do the same as we did, but we can do it in a much easier way, which is the sequence we did from the previous point. As we go from each slot, we can see that the 5 from the y coordinate stays constant, and so does the 17 on the x coordinate on the second slot. So but the from the first x9, it's increased from 10 to 11, and so is it from y8. It is become from 6 to 7. So we can we can complete the pattern until we reach until we finish the second quarter. So here becomes 12. 5 stays the same. 17 stays also the same, and 7 also increases. And we do the same here. 13, 5 stays the same. 17, and we increase it by 1, which become 9. we can clearly see how we're making progress, and we're completing the circle. 14 stays the same, increasing by 1. We increase it by 1. 5 stays the same, 17 stays the same, and this becomes 11. And now with the final line segment, 16, 5 stays the same, 17, and it becomes 12. Just put lines. For each line segment that is tangent to the circle. And there it is. We have completed 2 quarters of the circle, and so in order to finish the circle we only have to do the second part, which is it is much easier. It is not hard, so we can do either quarters. We can do the fourth one or the third one, but let's do it. Let's complete the right side first, then the left side. So to start from the first line segment, we have to do first the same line point here, 17, 12 on the first coordinate, right there. But to complete it, we must do the same as we did in the previous quarter. We count how many the distance between the first point to the blue one till this point, which is 12 minus 5, which is 7. So the y coordinate here is 12, so 12 we add 12 and 7, 12 plus 7, which gives us 19. And x stays the same. No, x stays decreases by 1 and becomes 16. We add we complete another line, and there it is. We have completed the first line segment in the third quarter, and we do the same steps over and over again. So we do the second line segment, which is this one, the green one, 17, 11. This line segment, we have to compare it and we have to reflect it on the other side, which is becomes from the same, the x coordinate becomes the same, which is 17. But on the other hand, the y coordinate increases by 2, since we're moving one coordinate till this point and another coordinate to reflect it on the other side, which becomes here 13. And so you can see the first point, and so we this is the green circle. We have to do the same as we did, and to the other green circle, the distance from each one of them. The x coordinate decreases by 2, so we do the same here. The x coordinate we have to decreases by 2, so it becomes 15. And the y coordinate stays the same as this one, 19. And then we can complete the sequence just as we did in the second quarter. You can see in the slot 5, 12, the y coordinate is 12, and then the second slot is 13, so we add 1, 14. So we continue as we did before. So with the number 17 stays the same, and the 16, 15, so it decreases by 1 every time, so it becomes 14, and 19 stays the same. So we can see the line pattern. And then we can continue. 17 stays the same, and we increase the y coordinate, but we decrease on the x coordinate, and 19 stays the same. So now it becomes 16, 17 stays the same, 12, and 19 stays the same. We continue until 21, so 17, 17, 11, and 19. Oh, 19. And this is the last one, 17, 18, 10, and 19. We'll just add the lines again. Once again we add the lines, so we can continue finish the third quarter. Now for the last step, the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter to finish the whole entire circle and begin analyzing the circle. So for the first lot of the fourth quarter, we have to do the same. The first point will be the same as this, so it will become 10, 19. But for the next line segment, we have to do the same as we did 17, 18. So we have to convert 17 and switch it up. So the difference between 10 and 17 are 7 digits. So 10 minus 7 will becomes 3. So we do 3, 18. 3 on the x-axis, 3 on the x-coordinate, and 18 on the y. And then we do the same thing with the second coordinate, 11, 19. So the x-coordinate of the second line segment will decrease by 1, so it becomes 10. And the y-coordinate stays the same, because we'll do it in the same. 9, 19. And the y is 17, 17, so we have to do the same thing. Here and here. The 17, 17, we have to do the same. So the y-axis will become 17 for this line segment. And 3 will stays the same. And now we can continue the same as we did the sequence, the pattern. We continue the pattern until we finish the fourth quarter. So here becomes 8. Here becomes 19. 3 stays the same. And we decrease by 1. Decrease by 1. 19. 3 stays the same. And we do once again decrease. 6, 19, 3, and 14. And here 5, 5, 19, 3, and 13. 4, 19, 3, and 12. And we finished the full circle. We just add the line segments. Just like that. And last one. Okay. Now we have a full circle and line segments that are tangent to the circle in each line dot. So in order to continue and find the different data that we can find and analyze from the circle we just made. So the first thing we need to find is the radius. Now the radius is a line that is from the center of the circle to a circumference. Now from the circle we just made, we can hardly find the radius because we don't have the center of the circle. So we need to find the diameter of the circle. Now the diameter of the circle is the line that passes through the circle from one point of the circumference to another point of the circumference, but has to pass the center of the circle. If not, it will become a chord or any other line segment. So if to find the diameter, we have to subtract 19 from 5. So we can go back. We can do here d equals 19 minus 5, which equals to 14. So the radius, so the diameter is technically two radiuses, because a diameter passes one circumference to the center of the circle and does the same to another center of this, to another circumference side. So the diameter divided by 2 gives us the radius. So now if the radius is 14, diameter of the is 14, divided by 2, it will give us 7, which we can plug it here, 7. And now the circumference. The circumference is technically the distance that surrounds the circle. Just like a perimeter, but for other shapes. So it's a perimeter for a circle. So the technical formula for a circumference is 2 pi r. Now we have already all the information provided. So we have 2 pi, and we have r from the previous formula we did, which is 7, which gives us an approximately of, give me 1 second. $43.98. Now this is the entire circumference, the entire distance of the circle. That's the distance of the line segments that are tangent from around the circle. Okay. Now the center of the circle. The center of the circle is also called the fixed point. Now the center of the circle is called where the radius touches between the circumference and a specific point, which is the center of the circle. Radius touches the circumference and a specific point called the center of the circle. Now if we go to our circle, it's a little bit hard to find the center of the circle by just observing the circle. So in order to find the center of the circle, we must find we must plug in the radius of the circle on the circle. So we can just do add a table, and then we can just start from 10.5. And the y coordinate, which is 5. And so to find the center of the circle, we have to add the radius of the circle. So to find the radius, the radius is a straight line, so it has to be in the same x coordinate, which is 10. But since we started from 5, we'll have to add 7 with 5, not from 0. So it will become 12. So right here is the radius of the circle. Now since we got the radius, we can easily find the center of the circle, which is 10, 12. X equals 10 and y is 12. And now for the equation of the circle. Now the equation of the circle, it has a specific formula, which is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared gives us r squared. Now h and k represent the location of the circle center, and r represent the length of its radius. So h can be determined by, you can do x minus h from the center of the circle, which is 10 squared, plus y minus k, which is 12, and square then equals the radius of the circle, which was 7 squared. So we can easily now find the equation, the circle equation, from just this formula, which is also called the standard equation of a circle. Standard equation of a circle. This is it. So last but not least, we'll start with the area. Now the area is just as we use a similar formula of the circumference. The area formula is pi r squared. Now we can easily find the area because we already have all the necessary data. So pi with the radius is 7 squared, which is pi 49. It gives us, just 1 second, 14, an approximate of 153.94. Okay, now we reached to the end of the video. Thank you for listening, and hopefully we learned a lot of ideas and a lot of how we can analyze circles from the start of creating the circle, and for now finding radius, circumference, and other formulas and other variables and data. Thank you.